So we see earlier also Kardama Muni, after leading his Grahastha life and giving all kinds of facilities required for Grahastha ashram and whatever were required for Devabhuti, he provided. After that, Kardama Muni wanted to take sannyas. Generally, it is the part of Varnashrama system that a person's life should be divided into 4 parts. Of course, not for the category of people who are Shudra, that means who do not take responsibility in their life. For them it is not. But otherwise, for higher classes, it is mandatory that they lead their life in 4 different ashramas: Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and finally taking sannyas. The idea is preparation of spiritual life begins with Brahmacharya. This material world, naturally, when we come to this material world, we are attached. Everyone is attached in this material world. That is why we have entered. Varnashrama system is meant for regulated attachment and gradually to become detached. Because devotional service means Jnana and Vairagya, automatically they should develop. So until and unless we become detached from sense object, from material affection, it is difficult to advance in spiritual life. So naturally it does not happen, because naturally we have become attached in this material world. So there is a training required. It is by training. So this Varnashrama system is a training. How the attached living entity can gradually become detached from this material entanglement and attain the perfection of life. So it begins with Brahmacharya, wherein the most important training is given about celibacy. Because the more one becomes attached to lusty desires, we all understand the living entity is actually bound in this material world by these desires. So until and unless he learns to completely get rid of these desires, it is very difficult to advance in spiritual life. Because these desires will make the living entity bound, attached to sense objects. So one has to give them up. So Brahmacharya is a training, beginning with 5 years of age, when there is no sex desire at all. So that right from the beginning, when these desires have not sprouted, one can be trained in celibacy. So from that time, one becomes trained. And that's why actually we find it difficult at the age of around 21, 22. We join in Krishna consciousness, we start practicing Brahmacharya at the age of 21. So it becomes quite difficult, because before that practically we have lived the life of materialist, not control our senses. Rather, there's a lot of encouragement for sense gratification. So it becomes difficult for us. So the system was like that. So then what happens? So if somebody has developed that spirit of detachment, In the training of brahmacharya, then he is allowed to continue with that. Okay, he has developed. So the guru, the spiritual master, he sees, and then he allows him to remain brahmachari further. But if he sees that he still requires, even after 25 years of training in brahmacharya, it was difficult for him and he is still attached, then a concession is given to him to enter into grahastha life. So Prabhupada says it's a concession given to him to enter into grahastha life, and with regulated attachment to develop detachment. Brahmacharya, it is complete abstinence, complete celibacy. And then when one enters into grahastha life, it is with restraint. Only as much it is required. And then gradually, when one has finally with this regulated training in grahastha life, being in Krishna consciousness, when one becomes trained, at the age of 50, say at the age of around 25, if a person gets into grahastha life, then 25 years he lives, carries out his family responsibility like Kardama Muni has done. He's saying, I have finished all my family responsibilities now. And now he wants to take sannyas. He wants to retire from the duties of household life. Please understand, it is very important. He is not retiring from spiritual life. He is retiring from one particular ashrama where he was obligated with lot of material duties also. Now in sannyas ashram, exclusively he wants to think of Krishna. That is why he is desiring. Because otherwise one may think what was wrong with his family life. He is a Krishna conscious devotee. Isn't it? But it is very important. He wanted also to set an example of varnashrama system. That as a grahastha, one should not rot fully in his family life, carrying out the family responsibilities till the end of his life. No, as soon as the children have become grown up, if they can take care of the family, all the kinds of responsibility, then one should retire from family life. That is the intention. And that is what Kardama Muni is setting that example. So, Prabhupada is pointing out some very important things in the purport. Very interesting. Prabhupada is saying, actually, sannyasa or renunciation of material household life. What is the meaning of sannyas? One has given up. It's an order of life. Grahastha is another order. So when one has given up his household life, it necessitates complete absorption in Krishna. This is very important. Not that I give up one attachment and I take up another material attachment. That is not the goal of sannyasa. That is very important. So Prabhupada is saying, not that you give up one family life and you make another family life. That is monkey's business. Externally, in that sense, they are also renounced. They have also given up. They don't have any family like that, but they are attached to dozens of female monkeys. So not that kind of renunciation. That is very important to understand. What is the meaning of sannyas? Satnyas. One who has given up everything for the sake of absolute truth. Sat. That is called sannyas. So what is the meaning of sannyas? Complete absorption in Krishna consciousness. That is called sannyas. So, Prabhupada is saying, one does not take sannyas, freedom from family responsibility, in order to renounce, or the renounced order of life, to make another family or to create an embarrassing transcendental fraud in the name of sannyas. He has taken to transcendental life and he is creating in that transcendental life a fraud, wearing dress of sannyas, but he is still attached to sense objects. That is called transcendental fraud. One should not create that kind of fraud. That is what Krishna calls mithyachar. He is not sannyasi, he is mithyachari. And that is not recommended anywhere in the Vedic scriptures. Better than taking sannyas in that sense is to remain responsible in your grahastha life. That is what Vedic scripture says. So, another very important thing, so this is one kind. Another business, what is happening in the name of sannyas, is that one makes it like a profession. Okay, this is one. One has become distasteful of his family life and he takes to many other family life. He becomes a debauchee and he is after many objects of sense gratification. That is one kind of sannyasi. There are another kind of sannyasis. How do? They make it a business of their life. That means they think it's an easy profession. It is exploiting the sentiment of people who are religious minded. Because people give respect to saffron dress. So they are thinking to exploit that mentality of people. Isn't it? So otherwise, to earn money is quite difficult in this material world. One has to work hard. So when one wants to avoid that hard work of working hard, and then he is thinking it is a good business, I can go house to house, I will collect donations, and I will have lots of followers, I will have a lot of bank balance. That is another kind of sannyasi. So sannyas is also not meant for that. It is not for earning bank balance and it is not for earning followers. That is also not sannyasi. Sannyasi means absorption in Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada is saying, the sannyasi's business is not to become proprietor of so many things and amass money from the innocent public. Actually, a sannyasi, Prabhupada is saying, he is not proud of followers, he is not proud of money because he has actually renounced all of them. That is the meaning of sannyasi. He is proud because he is always thinking of Krishna within himself. That is what Kardama Muni is saying. Exclusively now I want to think of Krishna in my heart. What is he saying? Charishye tvam hridi yunjan vishokaha. Completely free from lamentation of this material world, vishokaha. I want to cherish, only keeping the Supreme Lord in my heart. That is what is the real wealth of a sannyasi, and that he is proud about. Not about number of followers, not about his bank balance, not about all these things. So, Prabhupada explains that there are two kinds of real sannyasis. These are all categories of sannyasi who are in the name sannyasi. But there are real two kinds of sannyasis. One of them is like Kardama Muni. He is a sannyasi of the order who like to be lonely, alone. They don't want to mingle with people. They are called as Atmanandi. Atmanandi means they are satisfied in their self. They don't want to mingle with people. And their business is to keep the Supreme Lord in heart, completely meditate on Him, completely being absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Just like we see the examples. Even in Krishna consciousness, even in our spiritual life, we find. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. So we find he would not mingle with people. In order to avoid public, sometimes he would go and he would sit in public toilets. Because he knew these people, they will come and disturb me, Ashirwad. That is how people think. If somebody has become advanced in spiritual life, rather than taking spiritual advantage, they want material blessings from him. Isn't it? So he wanted to avoid people disturbing him. He would be constantly chanting the holy name of the Lord. So he thought it is a good idea if I can sit in public lavatory. People out of bad smell would not enter there. So there at least I can be lonely and I can be absorbed in Krishna. They are called Atmanandis. But then his disciple, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, he was Goshtyanandi. Even though he was a sannyasi, he would mingle with people, he would travel in, very, very sophisticated vehicles, cars, everything, in order to preach Krishna consciousness to the people. He would be among people, go, meet people, everything he would do. And they are called Goshtyanandi. So Prabhupada is saying, of course, there are two kinds of devotees of the Lord. One is called Goshtyanandi, which means those who are preachers and have many followers for preaching the glories of the Lord. So here we can see they will have to have many followers. But there will be people who will follow them. In order that they can be given Krishna consciousness, followers are not required or made for some kind of prestige, but so that one can give them, endow them with Krishna consciousness. For preaching the glories of the Lord, and who live among many, many followers just to organize missionary activities. This is another important thing. First, to give the followers Krishna consciousness required and take their help, engage them in Krishna conscious, real preaching work to organize missionary activities for the Lord, which is very, very dear to the Lord. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, those who are preaching Bhagavad Gita, giving this message to others, they are very, very dear to me. So these missionary activities have to be carried out. Missionary activities require people, it requires organization, it requires money, it requires manager. All these things are required. And that work is done by Goshtyanandi. So Prabhupada is saying, other devotees are Atmanandi, self-satisfied, do not take the risk of preaching word. They remain therefore alone with God. In this classification was Kardama Muni. He wanted to be free from all anxieties and remain alone within his heart with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is how Paribraja, they are advised to be Paribraja. Don't remain in one place. Prabhupada is saying not more than 2 to 3 places, so that they should not become attached to that place. They have to keep going from one place to another. So that is their duty. In Krishna consciousness, when Prabhupada or Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they awarded sannyas, Kardama Muni to be alone in a lonely place and think of Krishna in the heart, because in Kali Yuga that kind of sannyas is very difficult. Prabhupada says one will only think of money and women. Better they should be engaged in preaching work of Krishna consciousness. Practically also it is difficult to follow what Kardama Muni did. To be completely in a lonely place and be free from all anxieties and everything of material world, only keep Krishna in the heart, 24 hours chant and be happy. It is very difficult. Our senses are very strong. They want a strong engagement is required. Every sense requires an engagement. So in Krishna consciousness also Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave sannyas. Prabhupada also gave sannyas. But he wanted sannyasis to go, preach, manage, even distribute books. All kinds of different kinds of Krishna conscious activities required to further the mission of the Lord. Sannyasis should be ready to carry out. That is the idea. Only thing he gave them practically was, okay, you don't be in family life, right? Just like a sannyasi generally, in the classical sannyasa we find, they renounce family life. Isn't it? So Prabhupada in Krishna consciousness, not only the family life, the sannyasis were allowed to give up management of the temple. But whenever required, yes, they also would take up managerial duties whenever it was required. Management of the temple, Prabhupada generally wanted should be carried out by Grahastha, his Grahastha disciples. And sannyasis should be in the forefront, going from center to center, seeing whether devotees are following Krishna conscious regulative principles or not, inspiring them more and more in Krishna consciousness. That is the kind of work Prabhupada wanted his sannyasis disciples to carry out. So I'll read some very interesting duties which Prabhupada assigned to some of his sannyasis disciples. Goshtiyamukti. How he wanted his sannyasis disciples to go and preach Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada set that example from his own life. So what happened, Prabhupada had applied for a visa and he was not able to get permanent visa in one of the countries. Prabhupada's idea of getting the visa was whenever he comes, he can come there without any problem and he can preach Krishna consciousness. That was his idea of taking the visa. So he was not able to get that. So some of the devotees were very disappointed. So Prabhupada is writing them back to them. Don't mind very much that I have not received permanent visa. I think it is Krishna's desire and blessing. As a sannyasi, I should not fix up a certain place and take your service comfortably. See, Prabhupada is setting a very good example. Sannyasi should not go and stay back in the temple to take services from the devotees. Of course, on the other hand, it is our duty that whenever sannyasi comes, we should serve advanced devotees with our heart and soul. At the same time, it is sannyasi's duty that he should not remain in one place for a long time and take services from them. I should not fix up at a certain place and take your service comfortably. It is not the desire of Krishna. He wants me traveling throughout the whole western part of the world. It is Krishna's desire that I travel in the whole western part of the world, and therefore I think it is Krishna's desire that I shall shift my activities for some time in European countries. Okay, now from western world I should shift my activities to European country. Prabhupada is taking it as a desire of Krishna, because that is the work of a sannyasi. Move from place to place and preach Krishna consciousness. This is another letter to one of his disciples, Satswarup Das Goswami. Our life is very short. The Krishna consciousness movement is not meant for fulfilling one's personal ambition, but it is a serious movement for the whole world. So one should not think, for my personal ambition, this Krishna consciousness movement I will utilize. No, it is not for our personal ambition. It is a movement for the whole world, not personal. I am therefore going to the Eastern Hemisphere, beginning from Japan. We are going 4 in a party and all of us are sannyasis. So Prabhupada had many sannyasis disciples. So Prabhupada is saying 4 of us are going now. In this old age, I am going with the party. just to set an example to my disciple who have taken recently sannyas order. I think Brahmananda Swami, Garg Muni Swami, Vishnujan Swami, Kirtananda Swami, Subala Swami, all of them, two on a party assisted by brahmacharis should form separate Sankirtan party and travel all over Europe. This is what Prabhupada wanted. Not to retire. Sannyasi does not mean retire. Prabhupada is taking along with brahmacharis, they should travel place to place and preach Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada is saying, in this old age, I am setting this as an example so that my sannyasi disciple can understand what is the meaning of taking sannyas. Now, we want many swamis to take up this job. So all of you can aspire in the future as Prabhupada is desiring. We want very many swamis to take up this job. The grahasthas are to take care of the temple as well as the general management. So he wanted grahasthas to take care of the temple and general management. I have already formed GBC and your good name is also in the board. So sannyasi can be in the GBC. There is no time for creating a crack in our solid formation of Krishna conscious society. Take it now with great responsibility. Every one of you may serve jointly for Krishna's satisfaction. That is my request to you all. Very interesting letter. This is another letter. I have sent the sannyasis letter requesting them to preach from different centers. I am glad Subala Das Swami has gone to Amsterdam. Similarly, other three may also go to other places. Why they are together? Sannyasa means they should travel extensively. See, Prabhupada is saying, some 2-3 sannyasis got together and they were staying for some time. So Prabhupada is saying, why? I have already sent Subala Swami to Amsterdam. Others also should also go to other places. Why they should be together? Sannyasa means they should travel extensively, create new center, new devotees. That is sannyasi's business. And they can also make life members. So they can also go and meet people and they can make life members for the I very much appreciate your attitude in saying it is not sannyasa so much that I am interested in. It is Krishna consciousness and working to please my spiritual master. So, even though we may take sannyas, the devotee is saying it is not the sannyasa which I am interested in. It's not the glamour of sannyas. Because yes, sannyasa will get a lot of respect. Isn't it? Because sometimes the devotee may think, I have become old now, I have to wash my cloth, everything. Why not better if I take sannyas? Somebody will be there to assist me. No, it's not for that. You should not misunderstand. Sannyasa is not to become dependent. Sannyasa is meant for becoming independent. Isn't it? So Prabhupada is saying, he is very much appreciating the devotee. This is correct understanding of devotional service. To be engaged 100% in the service of Krishna, never mind what position you are in. Never mind, you may be sannyasi, you may be grahastha. To be absorbed 100% in Krishna consciousness, that is very important. Then another letter Prabhupada is writing is also very important. Prabhupada is saying, actually, all my disciples who are helping me in this Krishna conscious mission, all of them are sannyasis. And that is what Krishna says. Real sannyasa is not by dress. Real sannyasa is by absorption in Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada is saying, actually all of you are more than sannyasis. Anyone who has dedicated his life to Krishna, he is sannyasi, yogi and everything. That is the statement of Bhagavad Gita. One who does not work for his personal benefit is a sannyasi. It does not matter what is his dress. So all our devotees are more than sannyasis. We are member of Krishna's family. We are not member of Grahastha family, sannyasi family, brahmachari family. Prabhupada is saying we are members of Krishna family. Our aim is not to become Mayavadi sannyasi, to become family member of Krishna's devotee. Krishna maintains 16,000 families, and if you get a chance to serve in one of the family, then your life is successful. See, very important. Sannyasa, becoming sannyasi is not our goal. Our goal is to become a member of Krishna's family. That should be the goal. Mayavadi sannyasis means they don't want, they give up material family life, but they don't want to join Krishna's family life. They want to be absorbed in Brahman. That is not our mission. Real sannyasa means no more interest in material activities. This is real sannyasa. No more interest in material activities. That is real sannyasa. So you're all greater than sannyasi. You train all these boys to be practical sannyasis in the service of Krishna. Okay, one more I will read. So you are sannyasi, but if you have to stay there for some time to manage, that is all right. But if it is required, see, this is also very important. Sannyasi does not mean now I have taken I have renounced everything. Prabhupada is saying, whatever is required to be carried out for Krishna, sannyasi must be ready to do. Very important. Sannyasi simply means do as I am doing. And sometimes I have to manage, sometimes cook, sometimes go to bank, keep the money, write book, chant, preach in the class, keep account. Sannyasi should be expert in every department. Okay? Oh, no doubt, exclusively very important of his work is to preach, go around and preach. But at the same time, he must be expert, and whenever it is required, he must be able to carry out whatever is required for Krishna consciousness. One last final. Lord Chaitanya is very pleased upon those who dedicate their life for spreading Krishna consciousness. After all, he is the original promulgator of the Sankirtana movement. So you may know it that in traveling and preaching about Krishna, you are very much pleasing him. See, in this traveling work and going around and preaching, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, town to town, village to village, the whole Navadvip, he would go around and preach Krishna consciousness, this Sankirtana movement. This is the duty of a sannyasi, to travel amongst all our center for elevating the standard of devotional service. If by your presence in a center the devotees become enlivened, that is the sign of successful preaching. See, if a sannyasi comes and the devotees become very enlivened in Krishna consciousness, that is very important. It is not very difficult. Just read from my books. Try to explain the meaning in your own words. It does not matter whether you are expert in Sanskrit. Just try to realize the importance of Krishna consciousness. Make your life 100% engaged in Krishna's service. That is perfection. I can understand from your letter you are following Krishna's dictation and trying very sincerely to help me in spreading this great movement of Krishna consciousness. And for this, I shall always be grateful to you for dedicating everything to assist me. You have my sanction to take with you Gaur Nitai deities, carefully worship them, attending to them with regular arti and bhoga offering. Be very careful to maintain a strict standard of worship, and whenever you arrive at a temple, you can place the deities on the altar. So everything we can see, whatever is required in Krishna consciousness, sannyasi must be ready to do. So that kind of sannyasis Prabhupada wanted in this Krishna consciousness. We'll stop with this. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.